Hello, my name is Jersey Garcia, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm also a certified EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, relationship coach. I help guide women to release shame, reframe love, and co-create the ideal relationships. For this work that I do with women and some men, I use emotional freedom techniques. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about just what it is, really briefly, and how I use it, and just do a quick, just set up a statement or a basic statement recipe so you can look and see how it works. And also maybe you can try it at home if you have some time, especially when you're going through having like an intense emotion regarding something that just occurred or has occurred in the past. How I use EFT or emotional freedom techniques that we also call tapping, how I use it with clients is that I help clients move or reduce the intensity of a specific emotion that they have that is attached to an incident, to something that occurred to them or that they experienced. One of which I work a lot with women who are dating, and especially dating after divorce. I find that sometimes there's a lot of shame, embarrassment, guilt, all these emotions attached to certain incidents that happen when we're dating. So if you want any more information or additional information about tapping or EFT, especially information about research, how this modality has been researched, and also how it's been helpful and how the many ways of using it, you can visit EFT Tapping Training Institute, their website, again, EFT Tapping Training Institute, and go to the resource tab and you will find more information about EFT and what it can be used for, as well as all the research behind it. Then I want to now talk to you about how to do just a regular setup statement and basic EFT for you that maybe try it at home. Remember also that if it's something that has more, let's say, trauma, it's attached to it. We all experience trauma in our lives. We have big T traumas and little T traumas. That will be for another video that I will discuss them, but you can research and Google them. There's some things or some emotion or some incidents that might occur in your life that you want to tap on, that it will be helpful to do it with a professional or a certified EFT coach like myself. So I recommend that this is more, or this basic recipe that I'm going to show you is more to something that you find that it's smaller. It's not, let's say, a smaller T trauma or some incident that you're just having a difficult time getting over the intensity of the emotion that is attached to that incident. So what we're going to do today, or what I wanted to show you today, is just a basic example. So what we're going to use when you are thinking of tapping, think about what is the incident. The more specific you can get, the better. EFT works better when you get more specific. If you're very general about what happened or the feeling, it's very it doesn't work as well. So the specific you get, the better. One example is let's say an incident where I know that I'm dating, and my last date or the person that I was getting to know ghosted me, hasn't responded to my text. So and we went on several dates, and I'm noticing that person hasn't responded to my text. And just looking at my phone and noticing that the message was read but hasn't been responded to makes me feel a certain way. So we're going to be tapping on that feeling and also that incident, because what we want is to reduce the emotional intensity on that specific incident. So what we do is first, we think about the incident. So the incident right here that we're going to be tapping on is that I've been ghosted, or my understanding is that I've been ghosted. I have not received a response from the person that I went on several dates with. And then I check on myself and see, what is the feeling? What am I feeling attached to just that thought? So the thought and the feeling that I've been having is that I'm hurt. I'm deeply hurt, and at the same time embarrassed, because I feel that that I'm just maybe not good enough, or embarrassed. So I check with my body and see, where am I feeling it? Sometimes we feel this in our chest, sometimes we feel it all over our body. But this is just to see, so we can get attuned with our body and the emotions and how they sit in our body. I usually will probably sit with this. I feel hurt on my chest, and embarrassed as well. Probably hurt on my chest. And I will also try to gauge, especially the hurt part, because it's right now I'm feeling that that's the highest emotion right now, and see where it stands from a scale of 0, no hurt at all, to 10, which is the most hurt I can feel. Is, where am I at? Am I on a 5? Am I on an 8? Just thinking about that this person ghosted me. Just, he has not responded to my text, and I saw the red receipt of my message. And I assess that. The reason why we want to assess is because we want to check to see if the tapping is working. Once we do a couple of rounds of tapping, we want to see, did it go up or did it go down? So for instance, if I right now say, I'm thinking I feel hurt at a level 5. I feel hurt at a level 5. So that I will begin tapping, which I will demonstrate shortly. And I will show you, I will assess, once I tap 1 or 2 rounds, to see if I went down to a 4 or maybe a 3. Hopefully we want to get you, or you want to get yourself to a 0 or a 1 on the intensity of that emotion, which is hurt. Sometimes I experience, or I've noticed with my clients, that once we start tapping, it might go up a little bit before it goes down. So it's always good to check once you do 1 or 2 rounds, to check and see where you're at, back from 0 to 10, where you're at, and continue tapping till you bring it down all the way to 0 or 1. Sometimes a 1 will be okay. So I assess, I am hurt, I'm feeling hurt just thinking about this person ghosting me. Now I am going to, and it's at a level 5. Now I'm going to start tapping. First, I'm going to do my setup statement, which I'm going to do and demonstrate. But I also want to, before I begin telling you my setup statement, I want to show you the tapping points. And we are going to do tapping. We begin on the side of our hands. It doesn't matter which hand you use, as long as you are tapping on this fleshy part of the hand where the pinky is, and it's going to be here or here, wherever you want to start. You don't have to, it depends on how soft or hard you want to tap. You can tap with your fingers, or you can tap with the tips of your fingers. Then the other tapping points. Here we're going to do 3 times this setup statement, which we're going to articulate, and we're going to be tapping. Then after that, we are going to be tapping on other parts of the body. And when we tap on these other parts that I'm going to show you, it's going to be, we're going to tap on the emotion, hurt, which is what we talked about, and also a little bit about just remembering the incident, right? So we tap at the top of the head, on the side of the eyebrow right here, on the side of the eye, under the nose, under the bottom lip, right here on the collarbone. You can do this with 2 hands or just 1 hand. And on the bottom, right here on the side, it's under your underarm. It's kind of like this fleshy part. We sometimes call it the like the bra strap. So for those individuals that wear bras, is where the bra strap usually lands. That's where you will tap at the end in that sequence. So we'll begin. I'll begin demonstrating with this particular incident and this particular emotion, which is hurt, and I'm feeling it in my chest. So I'll start. Even though I feel this hurt in my chest. Just thinking about that this person ghosted me. He's not responding to my message. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel this hurt, just thinking about that he read my message, he's ghosting me. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm feeling all this hurt in my chest, just thinking about that he has ghosted me, I deeply and completely accept myself. All this hurt just thinking about that he ghosted me. All this hurt, he read my message. He hasn't responded. All this hurt. I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt. He ghosted me. I'm so hurt. And now maybe you do it one more round and you sit with yourself and see and try assess again. Are you hurt? Is hurt still there? Is that what it is? And if so, is it at a 5 or did it go down to a 3? If it did, tap again and try to get it down to a 1 at least. You might notice that it changes, that it might not be hurt anymore, that it might change to anger. So you'll just switch it to anger and you start again. Even though I now feel anger at a level, remember, assess where you find it from 0 to 10. How does it feel, the intensity? And then continue tapping and try to lower it down. Because that's something too that I recognize and notice in some of my clients, well, many of my clients, that you start with one emotion and it goes to another emotion after you start tapping. Because what happens is with tapping is that it brings it up. I'll bring up the things that sometimes our brain is trying to shut down or bring down because it's just too much to bear. It's too much to take. But with tapping, we want to release it. We want to bring it up to the surface and release that intensity that it has. So then what I know from my psychotherapy background, our frontal cortex, which is the part of our brain that helps us regulate and help us empathize and help us be hopeful, can come back and help us see things clearly, maybe be more objective about what just occurred. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. Remember, the tapping points is the side of the hand. Doesn't matter which side. You put out your setup statement, even though your setup statement starts with, even though I feel this emotion, just thinking about this thing that happened, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then you tap on the different points, the top of the head, the side of the eyebrow, on the side of the eye, under the nose, under the lips, the bottom lip, right here in the collarbone, and under right here and the bra strap, if you are wearing one. And just tap on that emotion and that situation that happened, and just try to bring it down to a 1 or a 0. Again, hope that this is helpful. If you need any more information about what I do, or maybe you need you want me to tap with you, or let's say help you in any way that I can with what I know, just shoot me a email to hello@relationshipharmonyllc.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.